What's up, everybody, and welcome to All for Footy, the AFL podcast where good friends gather and gather about last week's games, next week's games, and everything in between. I'm your host, Nathan, Mr. 9 out of 9 Norman, joined, as always, by the second best podcaster in the world, is Daniel, Big Daddy Reeby. How you going, mate?
Mr. 9 out of 9, how are we, my friend? And always interested to know how many tips did you get this weekend?
9 out of 9, buddy! Woo!
I can see your nose growing with every lie there, but yes, I look forward to finding out in the tips result how you went, Mr. 9 out of 9.
Fair enough. God was shooting from half court when he made this man. It's Rick Trip P. Parker.
Yeah, g'day fellas. It's good to be back after a few weeks off. So
didn't expect to see him on tonight.
Yeah, actually wasn't supposed to be on tonight. Gave the big fella a big call up last night and said, "Look, I've got to work."
Hey.
And look, the boss Daz, he was pretty good, and he goes, "Look, just finish up and you guys can head off." So a little bit earlier than what we were supposed to. So. Pretty good. Ready to talk some footy.
Well, as always.
Good to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about how shit the dogs are.
More importantly, can we get a little Kangas wrap quickly?
No.
Look, the Kangas are still shooting along. A couple of losses on the weekend, which was a bit disappointing on the Kanga front. But, two big games this weekend, which I'll get to on the end, so stay tuned.
There we go. And also joining us on the ones and twos. Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, could leap tall buildings in a single bound. It's the man of steel, Steelo. Shout out, bro.
How's it going?
Steely.
Welcome to All for
Steely
Footy.
Steel.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Tech guy, studio audience, he's everything. Everything rolled in the
Hot
one.
man.
Keeps us
Let's go.
He's like our glue.
Yeah, boy.
What, Steelo the glue? Well, he's the man of
You
steel.
might have to just pop yourself in the middle of that couch there at one point, Steelo, when Brisbane we start talking about Brisbane.
Yeah, there's not enough room here. It's just a two-seater.
So come on, buddy.
It's an important job back here.
Don't be saying none of that.
Look, anyway, look, Steelo will be shouting out every now and then, but ultimately mostly off camera. Well, actually, totally off camera, but, he'll talk. He'll say some things. All right, well, let's roll straight into last week's games.
Well, straight in.
Let's fuck around.
Straight in.
We had our longest episode ever last week, because people like to talk. And, let's try and tighten it back up this week, shall we?
The fans say it was quite a show last week. Very entertaining.
Not one fan has said that.
Well, I did. I'm a fan.
No fan has not said that.
I love it.
Look, our fans are very quiet. And,
Very fun show. We'll have to keep the train rolling, so let's roll along.
Let's roll on. It was Thursday night football at Marvel Stadium. It was the Doggies versus Sydney. Doggies 12-16-88 to Sydney 16-6-102. It was Sydney by 14 points. Rick.
Disappointing one for the Dogs. I said before, let's talk about how shit the Dogs are. I didn't mean it because the Dogs, they were actually pretty good on the night. They just couldn't get the job done. It was a nice tight game, right from the start. Dogs had the lead by a couple of points in the first and then a couple of points in the second. Really, the only standout for the game was when Sydney kicked 5 goals to none. Or 6 goals to none in that third quarter. To one in that third quarter.
Wasn't it just
that really just
clinical?
Yeah, but look, to the Dogs' credit, they came back in that last quarter.
They did a bit. They looked dangerous.
They put on a run of their own, which was good. But it was just too little, too late. You know what I mean? And I said, there was a dubious free kick, in that dying parts of the game as well, which gave them, a 50-metre penalty, which probably wasn't even there, which gave them, a goal to bridge the point to 14. So, tough day at the office for the Dogs. But, credit to Sydney. they're charging along now, 10-1, I think they are, which, they haven't been 10-1 in a season for, I think it's at least a couple of decades.
No, they're looking good. They're looking sharp. They're looking
Yeah,
sharp.
absolutely. But look, Goulden, Warner, and Heaney. The top three.
And Grundy, he's still he's making a run for best ruckman.
Grundy,
really
geez, I'll tell you what, the dog's got under his skin, though. The dog's got right under his skin. He didn't like it.
Yeah, he
English had the better room of the night, I reckon.
Yeah, he did. There seems to be a bit of tension that night. But,
Was it 14 points in 2016 in the grand final?
What do you mean, 14 weeks?
14. Was it 14 points, the difference, that grand final you guys won?
Oh, it was,
I believe it was 14.
Mate, you're quizzing him.
Was it?
Quizzing him.
Oh, he should know.
Nah, he should know.
14, I reckon it was. So that was good. That was one of the ironic numbers I pulled out at the end of the game there. I thought, little payback, 14-point victory for Sydney. But, I mean, the Doggies, they earned some respect still just by, Jamara was pretty big for him on the night, kicking some really big goals. And
he kicked 3 goals.
Yeah, and...
Ryan Garcia, though, for the Dogs,
his name.
He had a standout game himself. He was just taking it on, and
I listened to the last quarter on the radio, and they just kept saying, and Garcia gets it out. The amount of times I heard him get it out in the last quarter.
He kept getting it out.
Well, he was really big, and only ended up with 22, but geez, he had a good night. And especially in the last quarter.
6 disposals in that last quarter. 6 and kicked 1 goal.
Yeah, but must have been getting it out of the middle a bit, because...
Yeah, well, look, I must say, Treloar consistently getting the most disposals in every game he's played.
Oh, Treloar's just a seasoned pro.
He's really filling a hole that Libba's left, but, it'll be good to see when Libba comes back. And them two...
Libba should be... Yeah. Libba should be back this week.
This week, you reckon?
He's been cleared by the doctors to come back. So whether or not it's this week or next week, who have we got this week? We've got we got the Pies. So it's another big week for the Dogs. Yeah. So we really need to get that. Get him, and because he's out 1-1. 1 in 1 out ball winner. He's a guy that feeds it to Bont in the contests.
Yeah, no.
So sure. We need him back.
Yeah. You just boost your team, and your team's playing all right without him, but hopefully, it'll come together once he comes back. But just before we move on, Chad Warner, what a game! 25 disposals, 4 goals straight, 11 contested possessions. He was really ripping it up.
From the midfield all day.
He was. It was a battle of the midfield. The whole game was a battle of the midfield.
I think he spent most of his time in the full, not the full forward, but the half forward line of Sydney. That's sort of where he spent most of the game.
Oh, so I thought he played
was he
but
midfield?
He's a half forward mid.
Yeah, he's playing a lot mid, but he probably
mate. I saw him in that many centre contests. He was playing in the midfield.
Played mid a lot of the game.
Sort of between mid and half forward.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he probably pushes forward more than he pushes back to help out. Some players push back naturally a lot, but he obviously gets told to get on his bike and run down and be open. But
hey, look, 4 goals
he
straight.
nailed it, didn't he? 4 straight. What a game.
What a game.
It's like the old local footballer who just kills it out of the midfield and kicks 4 or 5 or 6, and you just go, what a legend. And he's sort of
Jim Bob kicking 13 the other week against Doveton.
Yeah, but they plonk him in the goal square, where someone who, those real guns and they sort of play mid and they kick a bag as well, and you just...
Yeah.
He's done that at the league level, I reckon, playing midfield and kicking 4 is just huge.
Yeah. No, it's a big day. It's an absolute big day.
Yeah,
and you'll probably get the 3 Brownlows for that as well.
You could probably bank on it. What a race between the probably 3 of them there. I mean, you got Warner at the moment just pipping him a little bit with playing peak footy. You've had Golden last year get the 3 in the last 9 games in a row, and so he's a star. And then you got Heaney, who they're saying...
Heaney's been on fire all year.
The one detriment to each other is that they're probably going to pinch a lot of votes off each other through their little patches. But what a good problem for
Yeah,
Sydney.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of teams have that problem though.
Yeah, Melbourne
You know?
had it with Oliver Petrarca a bit.
Yeah, for sure. And we did
But
have other
you're
mids in there as
talking
well.
3 here at like the top level, where they're probably, Heaney was getting 3 for a few weeks. Now it might be Warner's turn, and soon Golden will probably come back with a few blinder games. And it's just 3 of them at the time. It's almost like West Coast of 05 and 6 with Judd, Kerr, and Cousins.
And Grundy played well too.
Yeah, no.
Nathan's old favourite player.
Hey, I used to have hope, but oh well. Alright, well, let's move on to the next game. It was Friday night football at Optus Stadium. It was Fremantle versus Collingwood. Flagmantle, 11-9-75. Collingwood, 10-15-75. Draw game. Reeves.
Well, this was just quite a spectacle. I mean, obviously the raging talking point come out of the week is the free kick down in the goal square of all things for handing a ball to another player.
What a piece of shit. He deserved that free kick against him. How dare he?
Very interesting ruling.
Can't be doing that.
You're not allowed to hand it back to him. You have to throw it back to him.
The interesting part about that, Rick, is, and I get the ruling and it's fine,
That's
but the
derogatory.
umpire actually gave Collingwood a warning before and said if this happens again, because with a stock take of the whole game, it had happened 13 times before.
Ah, well,
On the night.
that changes things.
So it's a clear little tactic from Collingwood here, sitting there going, you know what, we'll just an extra 1 second, it just gives our blokes a breather, whatever it is.
Hey, if they got a warning,
The umpires did mention to a player earlier in the night, I can't remember who the player is right now, was it maybe side bottom, and then
Steelo.
so then the play carried on, and then it happened in this instant, and the umpire just went, right, with, you can only tolerate so much, and it is a letter of the law free kick. So he's adjudicated it right, and very interesting timing and place though, wasn't it? In the goal square at the end of the game, and that's what made it obviously a talking point. But the umpires technically it played the whole night well by giving Collingwood the warning for keeping on doing it, and then they did it. So obviously they technically went over the line. And I'm sure this week watching, no Collingwood player will be passing the ball to any other player. They'll either be leaving it on the ground, which you're allowed to do, or handing it straight back to the umpire.
Well, that's what they should be doing, I guess.
Yeah, what a pickle though. What a conversation it was.
But
But the game. Wow,
That's just like 5 minutes of my life I would never get back.
Still couldn't believe that Freo came back in that
It
bit
was
there.
insane.
I mean,
I loved it.
Collingwood was still pushing, and it probably almost cost him in the end because they didn't have the mans on the ground. Obviously down with big fella Mason Cox was out, and they had a couple of injuries, and they kept probably trying to push and score a goal, and obviously Freo were, and it opened up the ground. It was very open towards the end, wasn't it? And Freo were able to get the 4 goals needed in the last 7 minutes. And great comeback from Freo to snag 2 points. And
Flagmantle.
but obviously the young fella missed the goal right at the end there for Freo, and he actually could have snagged the game. Was he on debut? No, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Was it Parker?
Or Jeremy Sharp.
Sharp.
Nah, it
that's
was...
right.
Yeah.
Sharp. And is he on debut at all?
I don't know.
We sure? But he had the shot from about
Yup,
25
yup,
out. But I mean, Collingwood for most of the night really asserted their dominance on the game, didn't they? I mean, the way they just used the ball around the ground, Pendlebury just on display again, having a real big one. How many did he have there, Steelo, for Pendles?
Penn was at 23.
23, and obviously, the Dacos is working together, and
They got 35 touches.
yeah, they're just so Collingwood obviously showing what they can do, but Freo cuts off for the comeback, and probably just down a little bit too far to actually get over the line. But
But yeah, no, they had some good midfielders performing too, Clark and
yeah, I mean, one I've got a
Ryan,
little question mark on at the
Brayshaw.
moment is Fife. I mean, obviously he's a superstar player.
Oh,
He's just not at his peak at the moment. He's just definitely getting... They're definitely just playing him. I feel like if he was a lesser aura'd player, you probably wouldn't be playing him. He's doing a role, I get it. What did he have on the weekend?
20 disposals.
He had his 20, yeah.
6 kicks, 11 contested possessions. Like,
Yeah, he just seems to be following
not
the
doing
ball
bad.
around. No, he's, 20 disposals sounds good then.
one
doesn't it?
mark, but still 11 contested possessions. That means, 10 times he got the ball on the ground.
No, I'll take it back a
it's
bit.
pretty
then. It
good.
was just
Pretty
watching
good.
the game, I thought I observed him not being overly influential, but yeah, again, I mean, he's a superstar and you're going to be playing him, but
Yeah. Well,
flag, man.
he's getting up there. Like, I've heard his name for a long time. Like, surely
Yeah.
he's, he's...
I'm surprised to hear he had 20, so
Get
well
his
played
end.
Fife in the end.
Stat for you.
His disposal efficiency was only 50%. So,
Bless you.
you'd say he had 10 proper touches.
Yeah. No, but bad luck to young fella Sharp. I mean, it's his first year of footy, that's for sure. I'm not sure if it's his
11
first
games.
game, but he might have
11
almost
games,
played. He might have almost played every game this year, actually. But just to miss the goal, he had his head down, and all the boys got over to him at the end and made sure he knew it wasn't his fault. He had a chance, but they could have got it done earlier. So bad luck, flag mantle.
Bad luck, flag mantle, indeed.
2 points, though. 2 points.
All
2
right.
points. 2 points.
Yeah, no, it's... Hey, look. Draws are fun. And... Oh, no,
Mate.
well, I'll go around... I'll go ask you guys quickly, like, what do you reckon? Keep the draw or overtime? Goal kick out?
No, keep the
Whatever.
draw.
Keep the draw?
Keep
Reeves?
the draw.
I'm forever keeping the draw in the season.
100%.
Yeah, you keep the draw through the season. And look, just quickly, Reeve, he's played 34 games. He debuted in 2020.
Sharp. So he's
There you
gone
go.
from me wondering if he just debuted to thinking he's played 11 games to now he's played 35 games. All right. Good career from the young fella.
Check the stats now.
Well, alright. Better luck next time, Steele.
Yeah. Where were you on that one, dipshit?
Hey, we don't do name calling here.
Yeah,
Alright?
well, he's meant to have me back,
5 weeks suspension.
Set me up with some big stats.
Alright, well, let's move on to the next game. Because, across the board, we all prefer just keep the draw. It is what it is. It is what it is. Keep it. Love it. I don't know why we love it. We're probably one of the few sports that do it. I know soccer does it, but,
Well, EPL, during the whole year, a draw is a draw. So it's quite common.
Well, it's pretty much just soccer and football. But
I mean, even in cricket, during a test series, if you have a draw, that's a draw.
Okay, well, cricket too. Well, there's 3 sports.
In a golf game on a day.
Golf doesn't count.
If you're playing in a 3-ball and you
Anyway.
have the tied score, you still go on to day 3. You don't stay at day 2. You just... So most sports
I don't
actually
count that.
accept the tie until it comes down to the finals.
Yeah,
So I
well, a
think
lot of
it's-
sports don't. Anyway, let's move on to the next game.
Name one that doesn't.
Stop waffling.
Hockey, basketball, baseball. Like, what do you want?
Basketball, during the season, if you have a draw, it's the end of the game.
Anyway, moving on to the next game. Bluntstone Arena, North Melbourne versus Port Adelaide. North Melbourne 7-6-48. Port Adelaide 16-11, 107. Port Adelaide by a whopping 59 points. Mr. Parker, how'd you watch this one?
I didn't watch it. I listened to it on the radio while I was at footy, and I'll tell you what, Jesus Christ, it was just a typical game that we all would have thought would have happened. Surprised Port Adelaide didn't win by more. What can you really say about North? Like they're getting touches of the footy,
Yeah.
but their disposals are just shit. Like LDU. 35 touches. Fisher, fucking 32. Tucker, 29. The top 3 players, disposals for North players, and they're not getting the job done. Sheasel, 25. You know what I mean? So that's the top 4.
It's concerning, isn't it?
It's very, very concerning. They brought in Alistair Clarkson to change it around, and he's had a year. Or he had half a year, a quarter of a year, or whatever he bloody did last year. But whatever he's doing down there, it's not working. And Port Adelaide just they did what they had to do. They went down there to the freezing cold down Tassie. No one likes going down there. and they still won.
There you go.
It's just disappointing from North Melbourne.
It really is.
You expect much more from a team that's
Been down there for
been
so long?
helped. Been not only been down there, but been helped out with draft concessions, and they've got the number 1 picks and this and that, and
Yeah, but it's hard to
They're not
retain
doing it.
players at the moment. No one wants to stay there. Like what's his name went to Port Adelaide.
Vaughan Francis.
Paul
Yeah.
Francis, and they're going to struggle in the next year or two to keep a handful of their top players because they're going to get picked and poached from other clubs. But yeah, it's half the battle. I mean, can you attract any A graders to go there in the next few years? You're only probably going to get the B grade plus players, and it's really where they're at.
It's just not good enough.
It's hard to get that foot out of
they're
the
not there.
bottom of the mud, isn't it? They're right down there though. I mean, it's tough watching at the moment for poor old North supporters. And again on the weekend, I mean, they showed an inch of promise early in the first quarter, and that was it. By half time, 3/4 time, they're really done. And
that third quarter was a big one. Second one was. Yeah, look, that third quarter was a big one for them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I just got destroyed and handily beaten every other quarter. So, yeah, it's what it is. North Melbourne, do better. We want you in the club. We want you to pick up.
We want them to strive. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, we don't want them to be too good that they're winning grand finals because
I wouldn't mind seeing them win a grand final at this point.
But you know what I mean? Like, you want them up there. You want to see them have a little bit of success. But, they've been down since, 2000. When was their last grand final they played in?
well, they won the granny in 1999,
99.
Very long time ago.
and then in 2000 they lost the prelim, and then honestly by 01 and 2 and 3 they started the decline, and then it hasn't really ever come back. They made a prelim in 14 where they lost to Essendon.
I was about to say,
or maybe a semi. Actually, it was, and they lost to Essendon. It was a pretty big game, that one, when their current coach of Essendon was the coach of North Melbourne then. But that's one of their only finals since in the 2000s, I reckon, in 2014. Might have been Essendon's last final too.
It might have been.
Or second last
Might have been the last game they won.
Essendon.
Who? Essendon?
Does that mean Essendon got into a prelim?
Essendon doing pretty well this year.
No, the last finals game they won.
Oh, yeah, no, that's probably true. Julian, I'm sure you'll fix this up if we're wrong. All right, moving on to the next game then. Not much else to say about it. Carlton versus the Gold Coast Suns at Marvel Stadium. It was Carlton 15-12, 102. Gold Coast 11-7, 73. Carlton by a comfortable 29 points. Reeves.
Oh, Didn't they have to get that one on the board? The Navy Blues. They were
They did.
starting to look a bit shaky there, and if they're really going to push top 4, this is one that was penciled, circled, had an asterisk around it, and they did a highlighted star around it because it was like, it's Gold Coast at home. They don't lose. Gold Coast don't win away. So we can't be that team that gives them the one. And Cripps stood up like the man he is, the Brownlow medalist he is, and really produced on the night, didn't he? Or the afternoon, should I say? But
yeah, well, Cripps is just solid for the Blues.
Yeah, I mean, he sort of pretty much went head to heads with Matty Rowell, and Matty Rowell brought his towel. I mean, don't get it wrong.
When does he leave it behind? That's what I want to know.
Always brings it, and it was a good contest of just a couple of seasoned bulls in there, weren't they? Just going at it. And they pushed Cripsy forward a little bit, just kind of mix it up, but obviously spent a lot of time in the mid still. And how many touches for Cripsy there, Steelo?
31.
31 in the end. And Matt, can you give us Matty Rowell?
13 clearances he had too.
Yeah, 13 clearances.
13 clearances, yeah.
But that took my attention watching them. The amount of times they had arms around each other's neck as the umpire was balling it up. And they genuinely went head-to-head for probably half the game. So
15 for Matt Rowell.
Yeah, only 15 touches.
Matt Rowell.
But he still tried his absolute back off. But credit to Cripsy, won the game for the boys, I reckon. He really stood up, got the midfield, because the Gold Coast midfield is very strong.
managed to get his 15 tackles though, Matt Rowell. He was trying that hard. He only had 15 touches, but had 15 tackles.
Well, see, he's always doing his bit, isn't he, old towel bringer? But
Old towel bringer.
no,
yes.
he's just relentless. But so no, good win for Carlton, and good to see Curnow again, just really stepping up and playing a big one for the boys. And Sammy Walsh, I mean, could be a sneaky at the moment for being up there for Brownlow contention. You know, Carlton doing pretty well.
I guess, yeah.
He's just consistently getting in the best.
Yeah, and Cripps has probably taken a lot from him, though.
Yeah, but he has a few where he gets the double tag and that. But obviously, Walshy, I mean, geez, he's having a real good year numbers-wise anyway.
This is another problem, like these two players taking points away from each other.
They'll 50-50 this year, those two. They'll go head-to-head for threes, but...
We're only halfway through the season.
Yeah.
So relax.
But no, Carlton, for me, still just have a lot of building to do. And they're doing it. And I think they're definitely like last year. They're just going to start riding a wave soon. So I think they've sort of paddled around out the back a bit. They've sort of went to take off on a couple, didn't like them. But when they get that right wave, it can bring them right through into the final. You know,
and you see that wave coming.
Oh, they're eyeing it off. I know they're eyeing it off out the back there, but
yeah, well, we'll just have to see. Rick,
they're
anything to
confident
add?
it's coming, but what if the wave doesn't come?
Mate, the wave will not come.
No, you don't reckon the big perfect wave will come?
Rick, no wave Parker.
No, the perfect wave never exists.
Out of the big deep blue sea.
You will always be searching for that perfect wave.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see if it ever gets there. Yeah. Ben King, 3 goals, 2. The better King shines again.
Well, we don't know yet. We haven't gone through the Saints game.
Oh, well, all right. Well, I'll bring it up then.
How did he go? How many?
3 goals, 2.
Oh, sure, it'd be tough to beat.
You know, pretty
Maxi.
good. Pretty good.
Oh,
all right.
Very tough.
Good weekend with that young fellow. Then in a losing side.
With that, we'll move on to the next game. It is Geelong versus the GWS Giants at GMHBA Stadium. Geelong 11-8-74 to GWS 11-12-78. GWS by 4 points. GWS have beaten Geelong at GMHBA for the past 5 years straight, 5 games straight. How insane is that, Rick?
It's pretty insane, but I'll tell you what, that game was pretty insane in itself. You know, the Cats got off to a really good start, and you thought, oh, here we go. You know, the Cats are on today, the Cats are on. But that tsunami, that big wave, just started rolling on in. And, you know, they started getting hold of more of the footy and started taking their chances. I'll tell you what, they really deserved that win because, and they held on. They held on because Geelong came charging back in that last probably like, say, 30 minutes in between the third quarter and the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
like 15, like that's. They just really, really charged and...
oh, they were looking hot. They were up at the end at one point. They were up in the last quarter.
They held on. So, you know, Toby Green does it again.
Yep.
Like, the guy's bloody... He's remarkable, isn't he? You know, like, he only kicked 2 goals on the weekend, but
his disposals...
Just the stuff that he does around the field, it's just like... How do you do that, mate? You know, like... And for the size that he is as well, you can see why, you know, all the players at GWS, you know, want to play with him and around him, and you know, he pumps them all up, and I reckon, you know, Geelong, they were just a little bit underdone. You know, they rested a couple of players the week before. They brought them back in, thought, you know what, we're gonna walk over them, and they didn't. So back to the drawing board for Geelong.
Good comeback from the Giants too. I mean, they've been down for a few weeks there. Both teams have lost 3 in a row going in, and
2.
No, 3 in a row each coming in. So you really wondered who was going to be the team to sort of buck the trend, and yeah, the Giants. I mean, it just at the moment. To me, it just seems a little bit like Stewart, and another person I could throw in this category is Cameron. just a little bit tentative, and I don't like to bring this up too casually to say these blokes are being soft, but they both caught massive head knocks in the last month, and they've both returned, and it's very hard to go super hard, I reckon, after being cleaned up, and yeah, just tough for Geelong at the moment. I mean, they were flying, and they had all their players literally playing kamikaze footy, and a couple of their top stars copped some big knocks, and yeah, it's just knocked them around a bit, I reckon. And
it looks like it has.
you're definitely not knocking them and knocking their courage or anything, because they're top players, both of them. But it just proves how hard it is sometimes. Like both those blokes will take a few weeks to really get back into the flow, and just. But wish them all the best, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, watch that space a little bit with those two. I mean, yeah, just noticeable that they definitely can't come back in as if you've come off an injury where you can just fly around again. When you come off a head knock, it's a bit heavy duty.
Yeah, well, what can I say about this game? It was tragedy. I keep getting on the friend train, and it keeps derailing on me. Keeps derailing. I should have gone Giants. I really should have.
Everyone tipped Geelong. What was happening?
Yeah, everybody thought Geelong would do it. It was at home. Geelong are on fire. Well, were on fire at the beginning of the year.
I was pretty stoked when I opened up the app and saw everyone tip Geelong.
7 straight wins into 4 straight losses. Let's see how Geelong go these next 3 games.
Let's.
Because wouldn't that be funny? 7 straight wins, 7 straight losses. That's what are you guys doing? What's in the water over in Geelong? But yeah. Alright, well...
maybe Borofield.
Let's move on to the next game. It was Saturday night football at the G. Dream time at the G.
Oh, especially.
It was Richmond 10-14, 74 to Essendon 12-14, 86. Essendon by 12 points. Reeves.
Oh, wasn't it a special night at the MCG? I mean, the way they just lit everything, and we all got to watch for a long time about things about our own country and really enjoyed the whole setup. It was beautiful.
Okay.
And then the game started. And obviously, actually, the main attraction of the night, shall we go one step bigger, young Tommy McCarthy from the Footy Tips, old T-Mac.
All for footy.
Played on the G in the curtain raiser for Richmond reserves against...
And he kicked a goal.
And he kicked a sausage roll.
Kicking a goal on the G.
So obviously his family would have been there, and all the extended family with the Forrests and Lockie and Macca and Paddy and other Paddy.
Jono.
Oh, no, I don't even know which Jono you meant.
Oh, Jono.
Everyone was there, and I wasn't there, but obviously credit to Tommy.
Yeah,
what a legend he is. And but then the big game started.
Let's talk about that one.
Didn't Richmond just give it a bloody... Hats off to Dusty Martin too. I mean, to just get out there on the night, Dusty, and really show him that he can still shake it.
23. Had
23 and kicked 2. Yeah. 3. And he just... A couple of absolute rip snorters, and... Yes, you really felt like Richmond towards the end there. Essendon obviously had that bit of buffer, but Richmond were pushing, and a bit of a dicey play by Essendon towards the end there, where they probably could have slowed the play down a bit, but they sort of played on, and Richmond almost turned it over again. But so credit to Essendon for obviously a team that were up and about on the night, gave them a big challenge. And they were able to withhold them, because every team on their day can still play bloody good footy when you got a Dustin Martin in your team. And,
yeah, he really stepped up. He brought his chopsticks.
And Bolton as well. And, there's a handful of the Tigers that really had big nights. And
but they lost.
They still lost, but yeah, I feel the faithful for the Tigers were happy with the effort.
But this is what we're talking about. We're talking them up because they only lost by 12 points.
Yeah, they're in that boat.
Mind you, they're
only talking about Jakey Stringer who kicked 4 goals.
Big Jack in the pack.
Yeah. He's played 200 games now, you know what I mean? Like, talk up Jakey Stringer, the package.
We're on the Dusty show for a sec, but
get off the Tiger train. They're bloody done and dusted for the year, you know what I mean? Like,
almost
put a chalk through their name, mate. talk about the Bombers, mate, and let's pump them up. Let's it's better than pumping up Melbourne or any other bloody team. So
hey, look,
what kind of comment is that?
Langford kicked 3 bloody goals.
You know
one time Melbourne community.
You know us here. We hold back on Essendon. We're just waiting to see if they can win a final this year first.
Peter, right? 0
get
goals.
too excited.
Come on, what are you doing to me, buddy? 2 metre, Peter.
Jordan Ridley had 759 metres gained.
Ridley was
Damn.
huge, and one of my favourite player at the moment is got to be Durham. I mean, the man is just killing it
he's
week
good. He's
in,
doing
week
good.
out.
It's really weird. I feel like Essendon have sort of just sneakily snuck into this. Like,
They really have.
we're one of the top 4. We're one of the top 4. What's up? It's fucking weird. I'm sorry.
422.
Who had them anywhere? Who had them in the 8 this year?
Not me.
I didn't.
And their second spot on the ladder.
I had him 9th, but
Like, what the fuck?
I surely didn't have them, but good on them. You know what I mean? Like, it's about time we saw them. Perking up again. All those Bomber supporters. They've been down in the dumps since
Since 2000.
Purdy and Danky came through the club. Now they're on the rise. Let's see if these bomber jets can take off, mate. And start bombing things. But
Yeah, so a loss to Sydney, a loss to Port, and a tie with Collingwood. That's not too bad. That's pretty damn good.
another fellow also at the moment that I'm loving from the Bombers is Nick Hind. I mean, isn't he just playing some fun, energetic? He's as athletic as they get, running out sort of off the 50 there, having a few good long shots a goal. And
25 touches and 2 goals. Like,
yeah.
He's been pretty good this year as well.
A lot of these players, aren't they, Nathan? Look, we didn't know the names a lot, but they're bloody good footballers. So.
Well, they're starting to shine, as I said. Like Essendon's just sneakily raised up in the ranks. Like it's pretty insane. Like sure, they've got to have some players coming up and getting some recognition just off the back of that. But yeah, like Merritt, Martin, they continue to be awesome. Like Jack in the pack, Jack Stringer.
My only question is with the Bombers is do they drop off towards the last half of the year like they usually do? You know what I mean? Like,
well, I think I do know some Essendon supporters that would absolutely
did they have
thinking that's going to happen.
Did they have
really hope it doesn't.
a pre-season or something? You're just waiting for something to fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
hey, look, the ladder's that tight. They might not make the 8.
A lot of things can change. A lot of things can change in footy. They can go on the biggest losing streak you've ever seen.
Oh, that doesn't even need to happen.
Oh, yeah, it won't happen, but,
Like 5 teams are on 28 points. Like in the top 8. It's insane.
That's tight.
It is
It's
really
very
tight. But yeah, Essendon's just... Oh, God, yeah. Loving it. Loving it. Aren't you loving it, Reeves?
I'm not enjoying it as much as some of the Essendon supporters are.
Oh, look, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it for my Essendon brethren.
Us St Kilda supporters, they're a bit of a line in the sand club for us, and just...
I swear to God, you say that about every team.
No, it was Melbourne a while ago, but now it's Essendon.
Of course.
We're meant to be quite even, and if they're ahead of us, it's not good. So,
Well, no, it's not. No,
it sucks.
All right, well, go Essendon. All right, let's move on to the next game. Sunday, football at Marvel Stadium was Hawthorn versus Brisbane. Hawthorn 15-10, 100 to Brisbane 10-15, 75. Mr. Parker.
Well, yeah,
What about this one?
I did not see this one coming at all.
One person in our tips did.
Who?
Mr. Julian.
Oh, my arch nemesis.
Well,
Yeah, he picked it.
Get out of town.
hats off to... Well, sorry.
He got 8 this
take
week
the hat
too,
off.
didn't he?
Put it back on. Jules,
He got
well
up there.
done, mate. Well done.
Yeah.
But,
We'll get to that.
they've been coming. What did they lost last week to Port Adelaide by, a kick, after leading the whole bloody day.
Yeah.
They beat the Dogs. They won before that. They won, 2 or 3 in a row there. You know what I mean? So they're sort of been coming, but
They're
to
showing
beat
some
Brisbane, did not see that coming at all. And, I was actually in awe watching them on the TV, especially in that second quarter where they peeled away. They kicked 5 goals in that second quarter to 4 in Brisbane's defence, but just really, really peeled away and set themselves up for that time when we knew that Brisbane were going to come back, and they weathered the storm, and then they ended up potting on a few more goals to rub some salt in the wound.
Yeah, especially yeah.
It all comes down, to their midfielders, like Nash, Weddle, Scrimshaw on the wings. You know what I mean? Newcomb, these guys, they're coming in. They're playing hard footy. They're playing see ball, get ball footy, and it's pretty good to watch.
Yeah, it's shocking. Well, I guess Hawthorn haven't been on the bottom for that long, have they? I feel like they've only recently been there last few years.
Nah, they haven't been down for that long. But still,
bouncing back at this point, it's sort of like I just feel myself looking at North, being like, "Come on, do something."
It's concerning for North, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
don't mean to derail it.
Can you give us any insight from being at the game, Steelo? Like, was it the pressure from Hawthorn, or was it the Brizzy weren't there?
The engine room just couldn't get started.
So Hawks intensity.
Yeah, engine room. The engine couldn't get started. Even when we could match them with intensity, the disposals were just off. Yeah. We didn't have the polish, and there was nobody helping out Lockie Neal. I mean, Dunkley was trying his heart out, but as he usually does. But, we just looked a bit soft out there.
Yeah.
Need to get a bit of something about us.
We're looking for more of a one-word answer.
Get some Danny Southern in here.
Yeah, see, that was a better answer.
Absolutely, get some Danny Southern in here.
Yeah, weak as piss, effectively, is what you're trying to say, Steeler.
But look,
get some come up,
This was Hawthorn. This was Hawthorn coming out, having a night. Good on them. Yeah. Good on them. Sorry, Steelo, but it's Hawthorn.
I think Sammy Mitchell's finally
everybody likes an underdog,
Sammy Mitchell's finally got him riled up. I think he's got him early in the year. They're almost playing angry footy, and they were probably going a little bit too hard and frenetic. Where I think now they've settled into a tempo, and they're right on at the moment, aren't they? And they're not easy to play against. I mean, in the middle with Newcomb and a few of the youngsters at the moment, they're just leading away with hardness too.
Warple, Day, Sicily in that back line just controls the footy.
Yeah.
You got Jackie Ginnivan. He bloody had 23 touches and kicked a sausage roll as well. So
using him well.
He's fitting well into Hawthorn. Still playing for the high tackles though. I don't like that.
He goes to ground a lot. He does go to ground a lot, doesn't he?
He does this.
If he can take that out of his game, if he can take that out of his game, he'll be a lot better.
I just don't like when he gets tackled around the arm and he just slips it up so it gets his head, and it's like, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing? Stop this! It's not honourable.
Mate, Joel Selwood made a career out of it.
Yeah, well, disgusting football, as far as I'm concerned. But all right, well, with that, we shall move on to the next game and the game of the round, Daniel.
Was it?
Sure.
To me.
Sure.
To me, it was. Sure. It was Melbourne versus St Kilda at the MCG. Melbourne 14-16, 100 to St Kilda 9-8, 62. Melbourne by 38 points they smashed St Kilda. They smashed them. Don't you think, Reeves?
Yes. You might notice I'm wearing my golf gear. Sort of stopped getting around in the Saints vest after the weekend.
Don't blame you.
We were sort of here half the year, and now we've really checked out, and I've got a feeling our boys are eyeing off their golf trip for the end of the year. So,
are they ever?
Yeah, this weekend was meant to be going off to the forest to be watching the game. Can't, because I have a golf tournament on. So again, golf season's really started early at the moment, and they've really let us up the garden path again this year, St Kilda. I mean, that effort on the weekend, just dismal. I mean,
well, look,
to end up with 9 goals on the day. I mean, we can't even keep 10 goals at the moment, and it's becoming a little bit of a common thread, just the low score from St Kilda and the game style. And
it's the game style, I think, that does it. You try and keep it low scoring. You try and cut off teams, and you cut off yourself by doing it. I don't know. Look, if it works, it's good, but it's not working.
It's not working. And, early in the year, we were able to score heavily in patches, which we're able to catch up a bit to, to other. But at the moment, so I don't know. Definitely just sort of focus on. We got Winter Cup starting this week at Rossdale, and probably just spend most of my week down there instead of down at Moorabbin. Early in the year, I was down at Moorabbin week in, week out, scouting the boys, sort of checking training, making sure they had water bottles filled up and stuff. But, I've started just to transport down to Rossdale a bit more, just sort of get a bit more focused on the Winter Cup coming up.
Well, let's stop talking about golf anyway, and I just want to...
No, because the Saints have sold me up the garden path. That's why I've had to step aside. So I'm like a classic bandwagon jumper, effectively.
Falling asleep with all this golf talk. But anyway, Happy Gilmore 2 coming soon.
I'm a bit busy to go to the game next week.
I just want to ask you, Reeby, because you did tell me at halftime, you were like, oh, these are shit, Saints are going to sneak back in. And then you were like, oh, I'll tell you the score after the game. Tell me the score after the game. Because you never did that, did you?
Okay, so in the end, we had Melbourne defeating St Kilda 14-16, 100. First team to 100 wins. Versus St Kilda, measly 9-8, 62.
Yep, that's all I needed.
But at half time, it was looking promising.
It was looking a bit sketchy at half time, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah. But again, low scoring and boggy and shit. And you guys looked like you were going to win.
We blitzed you in the end, and you guys scored a few goals to save face at the end, which I'm not really happy about.
So now, can we check in with Max King's effort, please?
Max King, who?
3 goals.
3? Oh!
3
goals straight, opposed to Ben King's 3 goals 2.
Both teams lost.
The better King reigns again.
How much did St Kilda lose by? 38.
Smashing. It was smashing.
And they lost by 28, didn't they? So you'd have to say
that. Oh well, teams don't matter.
Ben just won the round.
The team effort doesn't matter. It's the player goal count. That's what matters. They don't go at the end of the year at the Coleman. They're like, oh yeah, but who won the most games? All right. Well, look, D's loving it, tearing it up.
Good footy from the D's.
Van Ruin bagging 3. Apparently, you can only do it against a team that we're definitely going to beat. Unfortunately,
my favourite player, Maxi Gawn,
but
just
Petrarca,
huge
Viney,
again.
Pickett had a bit of an off night, kicking 1 goal 3. Max Gawn ripping it up. Just yeah. I'm glad we got Max Gawn. I'm glad Melbourne are firing the way they are.
Max Gawn at the end of his career probably will go down as between 6 to 7 times All-Australian. I mean, at the moment he's 5. So you're going to say that he's going to end up as probably an Hall of Famer of the AFL.
You think?
Well, at this stage, I mean, look at his career. He's going to be
boring me.
Yeah, Rick doesn't like... Rick is... there's a strong anti-Melbourne bias within the All for Footy community.
Max Gawn.
He's seeing it on display right here.
Now, see, I've put him on a pedestal. I've started to realise, and in the last few weeks, I've done a bit of homework on the man.
Team English is better.
That so at the moment, 5 All-Australians, and you dare say he's going to be All-Australian this year. 6. He's almost going to go down as a legend of the Australian Hall of Fame in football. He's up there with the great ruckmans of all time, behind Simon Madden, only second, with 7 All-Australians as a ruckman.
Does that not speak to how good Grundy is? Seeming Grundy towed him up in their meeting early in the year.
How many All-Australians has Grundy got? Can someone...
Yeah, but how did they go when they actually faced off against each other in a game?
Oh, no, I get that.
So that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Premiership
I'm not talking about
captain,
fucking accolades.
Premiership captain, up to 7, if he gets 1 to 2 more, with the highest number ever of a ruckman All-Australian. He literally goes down as almost one of the greatest ruckmen ever. And I know the only person that would have someone to say about that would be John Sammy Newman, about John Polly Farmer, who he would say would be the greatest ruckman of all time. But, Jesus, I mean, Maxi Gawn, I'm going to get on his train and really say, by the time he retires and in coming years, he will go down as one of the greats.
Hey, love to hear it. Rick hates it.
He single-handedly beat St Kilda on the weekend.
That's
how good he is.
He made it.
2 times.
Two-time All-Australian for Grundy. Oh, well, there you go.
So
there you
Max,
go.
he's a long way ahead, Maxie, isn't he?
Yeah. But Maxie's older, isn't he? I assume he is. Alright, well, with that, we'll move on to the next game. Don't need to glaze Melbourne too much. It is Adelaide versus the West Coast Eagles at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide 21-11, 137 to West Coast 5-8, 38. In quite an embarrassing affair. Adelaide by 99 points. Rick, did you watch this slogan?
I did. I watched bits of it because it was quite ugly. It was very, very ugly. With I think Adelaide had like eight multiple goal kickers on the weekend, which is absolutely crazy. And probably like 15, or actually 14 as I look at it now, alternate goal scorers. Jeez. Yeah, it was a bit of a shit show there down at the Adelaide Oval, and Adelaide loved it. They won
give it to the fans.
Everything that was there to touch, really. Only highlight for West Coast, Harley Reid.
Again.
15 touches. He just absolutely... There was one play where I think he had the mark on the wing, and he went to go play on and balk the Adelaide player, and the Adelaide player was onto it and went to tackle him, and he just don't argued him and got him off like with ease, and then just strolled up that wing and fed the ball up forward. Just goes to show what sort of player he's going to become, and he's, first year, what is he, only like 19, 20 years of age.
Yeah, he's only a handful of games in, but there's a lot of hype behind him. Could blow up in their face.
And he kicked a goal.
Yeah.
And he kicked a goal. So, how many goals did they kick for the day? They kicked 5 goals, and he's kicked one of them.
He's healthily bagging at least a goal a game, isn't he?
He's doing very, very well for himself over there. I think he's enjoying it over in the West. Maybe not the
Here's maybe not the result.
Is this the first?
I hear he's a bit homesick though.
Is this the first West Coast player since Ben Cousins?
Tim Kelly.
Tim Cousins, 3.
Oh, and just on your, how many All Australians did Dean Cox get?
Oh, still it?
Yeah. Dean Cox would be, right up there, I reckon. And he was a West Coast great. He'd be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Oh, as well. I mean, Dean Cox was the other name thrown out there by Brownie as the greatest ruckman of all time.
No, mate, I've seen that guy just walk in and demolish sides. Like through the ruck, goes down forward, kicks goals. How many grand finals has he played in?
6-time All-Australian. Yeah,
there you go.
So we obviously have... Who did I say again at the top?
Dawn.
Nah, from...
Grundy.
Back in the good old days.
Polyfarmer.
No,
Jono.
Sam Newman.
Look.
You said Polyfarmer, mate.
Yeah, what the fuck? I heard that too, yeah?
No. From Carlton...
what's his name? Fuck, what's his name? Madden.
No? Yeah, Madden, that's it. So Madden has 7, so he's the all-time leader. So to get past or equal with him, Gorn would have to obviously overtake Cox.
Obviously.
Yes, interesting. I just thought I'd put out a Fenno fun fact for the week.
No fun facts this week. Fenno's not here. We can't have any fun facts at all.
Yeah, but back to the game anyway. Look, it wasn't really much to watch, so I didn't really watch much of it.
No, there wasn't much to it, unfortunately.
Wasn't surprised by the end result as well. As I sort of like changed it back and forth, but it was just, it was pretty bad watching. So that's my synopsis of that game.
Synopsis, Reeves.
Not samosa.
Thank you very much, Rick. And, I guess there's not really much else to say from either of us here. So,
I think he said it wrong.
Yeah, I think we'll move on. Do you think he's... Alright, well, let's move on to the tipping results of the week, guys.
Let's.
Alright, so, it's been some movement.
Not at the top.
So, in the top 5, there's been some movement. So, coming in at number 5 is my father on 67.
Go, Rob.
And then me, I've jumped him. I'm on 67 as well, beating my average, beating my margin, number 4. And then Jamie is 1 up on me, number 3. He rose up as well. Dad had a fucking terrible round.
How many did Jamie get?
Jamie got 7. I got 7. And then Molian got 8.
Hate this guy.
He broke away from the competition a bit. 70, 2 above Jamie, the rest of the comp. And then above him, coming number 1. You know, he's already started golf season, and he's fucking leading the tips. It's the doctor.
Oh, get out of town. I'm still top.
Yeah, 71. You're one tip lead against your arch nemesis, Julian.
That's it, mate. You just steer clear there, arch nemesis. Because I'm gone. I was going to say I'm coming, but I'm already ahead. So.
Fair enough. Alright, well, so yeah, with that, it's Raby at number 1. I'm number 4. Mr. Rick Parker, you're at number 16.
Good number.
With 61.
I dropped a spot.
Yeah, dropped a spot. Vossi Star jumped you. And Steelo, you also dropped a spot. You're at number 14 this week. So, yeah, troublesome.
Coming for you, Steelo. I'm coming for you.
But just to shout out, Atomic Shadows jumped you. So
Dave.
that's Vossi Star, 8. Atomic Shadows, 8. Julian, 8. And Reby, 8. So 4 8s this week, the top tip earners. Congratulations to all of you. And I look forward to beating most of you at the end of the year. Alright.
What was the one that got me? Oh, Brizzy. Oh, I can't believe
Yeah, no, a lot of people.
Julian tipped
Hawthorn.
Hawthorn.
He
Wow.
did.
Oh.
He did. The only one he got wrong, he tipped West Coast.
Get out of town.
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. Hang on.
Yeah.
I don't want to say these things without knowing. No, he tipped Geelong. Geelong.
Yeah, because everyone else tipped Geelong except
Yeah. No, he tipped Geelong.
That's
it. But
always bad next
all right,
week.
I was wrong. My mistake.
Everything's wrapped up in a neat little package, isn't it, Nick?
So, yeah, sorry if it sounded sarcastic. Alright, let's move on to next week's games. Alright, so we've got Thursday night football at Adelaide Oval. There's Port Adelaide versus Carlton. Raby.
Love a new round. Alright, so where are we? We're over there, aren't we? Wow. I mean, Carlton had an easy game this year except for the one game against North Melbourne on Good Friday? Because every single game has been like just a big challenge. You look at it and you go, oh, shit.
It's because they're not as good as what everyone's trying to make them out to be.
Maybe. And
that's why they're a big game.
Yeah, and we're all trying to have sympathy for them or something. But, I mean, geez, Port Adelaide at home. I mean, it's hard to not tip Port at home, isn't it? But I'm going to give the Blues the credit here, and I'm going to say they're hungrier and they're fitter than Port at the moment. I mean, Port have been banged up, and they've had numerous players coming in and out.
Yeah, no, they're not doing too.
And I just think Carlton, they're playing pretty stable footy, and they've really got to go over there on a mission. On a Thursday night, they won't train hard this week. They'll just really prepare for a big game. It's middle of the year, you should be rock hard fit. You know what I mean? You don't need to really practice a lot of stuff. You just get prepared for the game, and yeah, I reckon the Blue Boys might get them here. Yeah,
well, Rick?
Well, I beg to differ.
Oh, I love it. Always.
Well, I reckon Port Adelaide is going to win down at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah, home field advantage.
They do. They got the home ground advantage, and they play that oval really well. The crowd gets behind them. What are you going to do?
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
D-speed them at home.
You know, they've got that anthem. You know, you never tear us apart. You know, Carlton. They're going to go over there. They're going to get torn apart.
And yeah, big game in there.
Nah, I reckon it's going to be close though.
Oh.
I reckon it's going to be close.
It's a given.
I don't think Carlton's going to win it.
Yeah, fair enough. But they could easily. So, Steeler, do you want to chime in with your tips?
Yeah, mate. Sure. Back Port Power all the way. Yeah, get it done at home for sure.
Good man, Steelo.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm struggling with this one. So yeah, Port. 1 point win just over Hawthorn. They just beat Geelong by a goal, I guess, but they lost to Adelaide. They just beat St Kilda, and they lost handily to Collingwood. I don't know. I feel like they're sort of hot and cold at the moment. And they were hot last week. This week, I'm going to go Carlton. I don't think they're going to be as hot.
Very wise.
I think they're going up and down. I think they're going to go down this week. But could absolutely see them winning, like Rick said. So.
Yeah, close game. What a game to start the round.
I don't have many confidence points in it. All right.
Genuinely could go both ways this game. I mean, you could put a case for both sides. Massive case for both sides. So.
Yeah. So anyway,
what are the odds? Can we get odds with our tips?
No, we can't.
Just out of interest.
$1.65 Port.
Really?
$2.20 Carlton.
Jeez, whoa. Good value for the Blues then.
All right. Well, we'll move on to the next game. Collingwood versus Western Bulldogs. Friday night football at Marvel Stadium. Reeves.
Oh, Marvel. So Doggy's home game.
No, Collingwood home game.
Oh, sorry, because I thought I heard you say Collingwood first. Wow, all right, that brings a different.
Yeah, it should be the G.
The Dogs at Marvel, and I tell you who's banged up. Collingwood. I mean, they are getting injuries coming out their absolute proverbial at the moment, and
$1.70 favourites.
Who Collingwood are? Jeez, I reckon there could be another upset here. I think the Dogs, after last week, they're really on a mission, and I just think they'll keep the theme going with just playing hard brand, sort of finals like footy. We're playing another tough opposition. They'll be good for the run last week, and I just think they might wear Collingwood down here. They really will play a pretty good game against them, and Collingwood could just be a couple short.
Well,
hot dogs.
Rick, do I even need to ask you? I should ask you. It's polite.
Well, it is polite. It is definitely polite. But look, I'm going to go the Dogs.
Especially
we haven't had. Obviously, I'm going the Dogs. I think out of the last few times that we've played them, it's been pretty even. I think they've won 3 out of the last 5. We've won 2.
They'll defensive it up a bit. You guys will score. I reckon you guys will give
you know what I mean? They're one of those teams that match up really well against the Dogs. It's always a danger game, but I reckon the Dogs in a tight one.
The Lipinski Cup.
Lipinski out.
No, Lipinski Cup.
Yeah, or you could say the Roughhead Cup.
Oh,
yeah, the Roughhead Lipinski Connection Cup.
Or the Chalor Cup.
All right, let's just move on.
Or the Chalor, yeah.
It's a handful.
But Dogs in a close one.
Yep, fair enough. Steelo.
Yeah, interesting one. I reckon jump on the friend train. Go the Doggies.
We're all on here.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, I reckon good sniff here for the Dogs.
Look, the friend train's... Personally, the friend train's let me down. Brick, you're pretty down on the tipping ladder because you tip Doggies every week, I reckon. So, I'm going to have to back Collingwood.
I believe my team can win every week.
Sorry?
Like, the Dogs should be winning every week. Like, they've got the team to be able to do it. So, that's why I tip them every week.
Yeah.
Because I believe they're going to win every week, and they let me down every week.
You believe in your club. I get you. But yeah. Alright, well, Collingwood for me. Oh. But I'm bucking the trend, it seems.
Yeah, all the pods against you, Nate.
Well, bring it. Alright, Saturday at the MCG. It is Hawthorn versus Adelaide. Reeves, I reckon this is a tight one.
This is, again, just set up as a tipster's nightmare, isn't it? If you break down recent forms... All the stats, you put two teams pretty even on the ladder. Both, where are they? 14th and 13th or something?
14th and 12th.
12th and, yeah. So it's at the G. I'm going to say...
145 on Saturday.
I'm going to say that Adelaide get the bickies here.
Adelaide $1.64. Hawks $2.26. That's pretty good for Hawks.
Yeah, Adelaide's been playing good footy, and I just think they're probably meant to be a class above Hawks. Hawks obviously been showing a bit lately, but I just think that Adelaide, in a pretty even game, they've probably got a few star players, and they'd probably just get it done. But and they love coming to the G, these interstate sides. So yeah, I don't know. Jeez, the Hawks can make you look silly at the moment, can't they?
They could, but hey, both teams are on the rise. Rick, what do you reckon?
I've gone Adelaide as well. So yeah, they could make us all look silly, but that's the tip.
Yeah,
takes you back to 2015 when Hawthorn and Adelaide played that prelim, was it? Or semi?
Good day.
Yeah, it really takes you back to those days, doesn't
Really takes you back, doesn't it? Steelo, who you got for this one?
Go the Hawks. Go the Hawks after they beat us last week. And they're getting back to their home deck.
That's it, Hawks. I'm going Hawks as well. I reckon they can do it. I reckon both of these teams are on the rise, but I do feel like there's a bit more hype behind Hawthorn.
I feel like you're jumping on a gravy train.
Gravy train? Well, do you know what the good thing about gravy trains are, bro?
You keep jumping on the wrong train.
No, gravy trains are good. You want to be on the gravy train. That's the good train.
No, but you think you're jumping on the gravy train
Yeah.
because it's good, but you're going to jump on and it's like, it's not a gravy train.
It's a shit train. It's a shit train. Well, anyway, let's stop talking about trains because I'm gonna. Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, Hawthorn for me. All right, it is Saturday afternoon football at Optus Stadium. It is the West Coast Eagles versus St Kilda. What are you thinking?
Yes,
what do you
it
think?
is.
West Coast Eagles going in favourites, $1.74.
If you had said to me a month ago that you're tipping West Coast this week, I would have said, get off my train.
Off my
But,
train.
I mean, I'm so heavily contemplating tipping West Coast.
Tickets, please.
I mean, they're going to play probably a good game back at home. They play very well at home. Harley Reid's probably better than our whole midfield put together already.
Yeah,
And
they're coming off a very embarrassing loss.
Yeah, but surely the Sainers get over there. We normally play quite well on the bigger ground. We do enjoy the space with a bit of run and a bit of open up and play our shitty brand of footy out wide for a bit and hold on to the ball. And,
Yada yada.
yeah, just be interesting to see how we turn this around into potentially trying to win the flag next year when you put it into my 3-year vision, which is running out next year. So I'm going to have to... very torn.
Come on! Heart or head? Let's do it.
They're both of my teams. I mean, technically I'm a West Coast and a St Kilda supporter, so...
You've blabbed on for about 5 minutes just on that, so...
It's been a minute. What's your team? Come on. Alright, Rick, who are you going for?
I'm going for West Coast over there.
West Coast over there. Fair.
If it was over here, I'd go the Saints, but it's over there, so I'm going West Coast.
Yeah, fair enough. Reeby, answer yet? Alright, Steelo, who you got?
Cool. We'll go the draw. I reckon it's going to be a draw.
What? Draw, but you got a team?
Oh, yeah. I reckon...
It's one of the worst games of the season.
Max King will kick 4 and the Eagles will still get it done.
Reebs, do you have your answer yet?
Well, the last few weeks I have tipped against St Kilda and it's been doing me quite well in my...
Well.
I feel like we might pinch this one, though.
Alright, well, let's move on. Like,
He hasn't. Alright, fucking St Kilda. You going St Kilda, we get it. Alright, I'm going West Coast because fuck you. I was going to go St Kilda, but after that, fuck you. Alright, let's move on to the next game. It's Geelong versus Richmond at the GMHBA Stadium. Don't even talk about this for very long, Reebs. Come on.
Geelong.
Rick, who you got?
yeah, no, the Cats will do this one easy.
Yeah. Steelo?
Yeah. Same.
Same. Cats all round. Very hard to... Yeah. Richmond, what are you doing? Alright, Sunday football at TO Stadium. Alice Springs. Melbourne versus Flagmantle. Melbourne home game. I think I said last week that we don't do the TO games anymore, and then I'm immediately proven wrong. I had no idea. Reeves, who you got?
It's Alice Springs, isn't it?
Yeah, Alice Springs.
Yes. Oh, wow, it's been quite a tough one to throw around, but I really think Freo are going to get it done here. I just think they travel well, and they got a lot of really good running players, and the humidity up there, and you guys all bunkered down in Melbourne, and I just think they might get their game on and score heavily like the Gold Coast were able to, and interesting game though, isn't it? I just think it might be hard for Melbourne to keep the pace. You know, they're quite a structured side. They like to play the structure brand, and Freo have become quite frenetic. So it'll be a real throw-around game.
Yeah,
and it could just come up Freo.
Good. So who you got?
Freo.
Rick.
I'm going the same. I'm going to go Freo in a tight one though. I reckon they might, a kick in it. So it could go either way.
Yep, fair. Steelo.
Freo, I reckon. The dark horse. Definitely this round. Flag yellow.
A gallop.
No, I think they're back to Fremantle now. They're back to Fremantle now.
Flag mantle.
Back to flag mantle. Flag leather. Alright, well, the anti-Melbourne bias is real. Melbourne are going to win this.
Yeah, we all don't like Melbourne, it's true.
No, I know. $1.48 favourites, come on.
Talk's a good story.
Come on.
Talk's a good story, yeah. Dan convinced me.
With his hate. Alright, well, let's move on to the next game.
That's why I'm top of the ladder.
That's why he's top of the ladder. He is, unfortunately. It's at People First Stadium, Gold Coast versus the Bombers. Reeves, who you got? Gold Coast at home.
Off a tipster's nightmare round. I mean,
Gold Coast $1.69.
and in my eyes, don't lose at home. Haven't lost at home yet this year, but they're playing what I call one of the form sides of the year. So, I mean, what a game, again, just to really... This will split the punters a bit, I think. I think you'll get your people tipping the Bombers because they're on the train. But you can't go against Gold Coast at home until they lose. So I'm going to go the Coasters at home.
Yeah, no, fair. Rick, who you got?
I was actually thinking along the same sort of lines. Like the Gold Coast are pretty good at home, but
They have the better king.
Just to give you one stat to roll with it, is that they've only lost one game at home last season and this season, and it was against Collingwood last year's premiers. So if they were to slip this game, statistically, that makes Essendon likely to be a chance to win the flag.
And I reckon, no, not really, but I reckon Essendon will beat them, and they'll do it quite well.
Essendon?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I heard him say Gold Coast.
Yeah.
Oh, so I thought you...
No, I said I will... I was thinking along the same lines as, like, you can't tip against them, but...
Then you're like, fuck you, I'll do what I want.
Yeah, that's right.
Can't stop me.
Steelo, who you got?
I'll get to the bottom before you. Wait, we're racing to the bottom or the top?
It'll be the upset round. Come on, pay out, sports bet.
Yeah, this is a tough one.
So Bombers aren't favourite, right?
Bombers aren't favourite, no. This is a tough one. Because, look, all games this week have been tough, except for Geelong-Richmond. It's the only one. But every single other game could go either way. I don't think we're going to get anybody picking the same teams this week.
No, it's a real ripper.
Oh, well, actually, out of 22 people, it's probably likely. Anyway, but, it's going to be interesting.
Maybe Geelong-Richmond, if people will tip the same.
Look, I've tipped against Essendon a lot this year, and it's really blown up against me.
Do it again, then.
No, I'm going to tip Essendon.
It's going to stuff you.
Yeah, do it again.
Yeah, I'm going to tip Essendon this time. So, chances are Gold Coast are going to win. But we'll see how we go. Be rooting for them. Alright, well, that was the last game because, of course, as we all know, Brisbane, North, Sydney and GWS all have byes this week. So they'll be rested up, ready for next week. Alright. Reeves, do you know what we move into now?
It's bedtime almost, isn't it?
Bedtime. We don't have Wheels of Fortune this week because Wheels isn't here and it doesn't start until next week. But yeah, Be posting the rules of Wheels to Fortune to our Facebook page and our Twitter page.
Oh, glad I changed mine to North Melbourne last week.
And to our YouTube page. So, yeah. Get involved. Put down your team. Hint, it's probably most definitely going to be North Melbourne. So that's definitely one you want to pick up straight off the bat. And yeah.
Last week's answer was North Melbourne. This week's answer, you might be looking for Richmond.
No, we haven't all started yet. This our answer last week is still our answer this week. Like, it hasn't kicked off. This is the week it kicks off.
Oh, right, with you.
Alright, well, that wasn't what we're moving. I don't want to surprise you with it.
What?
The last segment.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts.
Oh, I never see it coming.
No,
Every
you
week.
fucking schmuck.
Jesus, already.
Every week.
Oh, well, I'm going to put it all on the line and I'm going to tip Saints this week. There we go. I'm done.
Alright, Rick, closing thoughts.
That's his closing thought.
What's his closing thoughts?
Look, it's going to be a big week for the Kangas down at Kanga Park this week. We got a local derby against the Hammers, Hampton Hammers. So it's always a tough competition when we play them. They got the better of us last time, so we're looking to go out there and get a bit of redemption. So get down to Kanga Park and support the boys, which should be a pretty good weekend. Hopefully the weather's nice and the sun is out like we always like it to be when we're out playing footy.
Saturday is currently forecast as 12.
A bit brisk, but no rain,
Yeah.
so it should be alright.
Yeah, you woke up a sweat, it'll be fine.
Yes, they're forecasting the rain to come through the day before though, but then Saturday just to be a little bit sunny, cloudy, but just a high of 12. So might be a bit wet underfoot for you from the rain that might come through the day before.
Oh, it's very interesting.
But all clear and 12 degrees there, Mr. Parker.
Thanks, Mike Larkin.
Should be beautiful for football.
Alright, well...
Look, get down to Kanga Park. Watch the boys.
Yeah, they can.
Cheer us on. If you see me, come up, say hello.
Don't be scared. He doesn't bite.
Exactly.
Sign some autographs for you if you want. 250 game superstar, you mate. So get down and support us.
Yeah, no, look, I'm sure somebody will be coming down to get us autographed. They usually do.
Are you venturing down this weekend, Nate?
I don't like to call things too early. I do have plans this weekend.
Oh, do you? Well, isn't that calling something too early then?
Well, I don't. Plans change. Sometimes you change your plans.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to, but I'm teeing off at 12:20, Rick, so I won't be able to make it.
Well, you know what? It's your loss.
Yes.
But, we'll be missing out on some quality football.
We will be. Actually, you know what? You can watch the rerun on, what's the page called again? The something local footy page.
Yeah.
What's the shout out for the local stream? Because you can watch every game.
Every game.
Yeah, they're all.
Yeah, I think it's through the Southern Footy website.
Yeah, Southern Footy League. That's the one.
Yeah, there you go.
Southern Footy League live stream, and you can actually catch Mr. Parker in action every Saturday,
tearing it up
on a live stream, sitting on the bench, coming off, playing rotation on the back line. Whatever he's doing.
We're directing our listeners to that. I'm sure
he might be playing a decoy tagging role, where he's taking someone out of the game. Hence why he's not getting leather poisoning. But then another week, he gets leather poisoning.
Rapes. They don't film Two's games, mate.
Oh.
and this was also Rick's closing thoughts. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Steelo.
I'm done.
You done?
Have a good weekend, guys.
Yeah, good. Steelo, you got some closing thoughts?
Oh, just that bye rounds. I'm chucking a dummy about bye rounds this time. Dummy spit about bye rounds. Play more games of footy. What can I do this weekend with the Lions missing out? So at least we're coming back to Melbourne afterwards. So just make sure everyone rocks up in a couple of weeks.
There you go. Yeah, no, look, I'm with you. I hate it when Melbourne have a bye. Fucking sucks. Sucks so much. Anyway, alright, well, moving into my closing thoughts. I'll be streaming this Sunday. Oh, sorry, my brother will be streaming this Sunday. Bruce Rando, over at Bruce Rando on YouTube. We'll be playing some Hellblade 2 after his Hellblade playthrough on Sunday. Of course, you were all there. You all saw it. Yes?
Yeah, it's quite impressive, actually. I was speechless.
You motherfucker. Alright, well, yeah, so this week will be Hellblade 2, and then the following week we'll be moving into Summer Games Fest, so there'll be a lot of live reactions to showcases. Yeah. So, yeah.
You bloody ripper.
Big couple of weeks for good old Bruce Rando.
What else would you rather be?
Is our mate Nobody going to be there as well, or just you?
Possibly. He turns up whenever. He's a mysterious man.
He's a bit of a big star now, Nobot.
Yeah, well, you know.
Bruce Randall following his trail, he'll make it in no time.
Yeah, well, he's got quite the subscriber count on us, but we'll get him. We'll get him, guys. We'll get him. Alright.
Can we meet Bruce one day? Can we get him on the pod?
No.
No,
he doesn't watch football.
Is he like mum and dad?
He just plays video games. Dad's been on the pod.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You weren't here. You weren't there.
He only came on because I wasn't here.
Exactly. He's got beef with you. He hates you.
My rival. My other rival.
Yeah, arch nemesis. He's taking this tip seriously this year.
No,
right?
Julian's my arch nemesis. Your dad's my rival.
Oh, okay. All right. There's a difference.
You're just a douche.
Oh, thank you.
And there's still Nathan's closing thoughts.
That's my closing
That's what I do.
That's what he does.
Short and sharp.
Would you like to interrupt my closing thoughts, Rick?
Rambling, Reeby, waffling.
No, it's Rambling, Reeby's, Rick
Relics. Alright, very well. Alright, well, I think that's it from us at All for Footy, and we're